Big news for Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffalo. They just landed a former 5-star wide receiver, Hykeem Williams, formerly from Florida State. And he has not got much production to his name from Florida State. So we're going to go back, look at his highlights from high school, look at his recruiting profile, because whenever big moves happen and the player's younger or the player's not very experienced, but they're a promising athlete, we're going to go back and look at what they did back in the day. But before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at the 2025 recruiting class, the 2026 class, every single day this offseason. We're covering all the Buffalo as well. Click that button, stop missing out. We're starting off with this 24/7 Sports player profile page. If you're here for just the highlights, fast forward a few minutes, you'll get there. These are older highlights because he's been in college football for a couple years. But we are in the 2023 recruiting class. I covered him back in the day when he was a recruit for Florida State. I remember him being a very promising prospect coming out of high school. 5-star recruits. Top 5 in the class, 35 offers. Everybody wanted this kid from Alabama to Georgia to Florida State. We land with Florida State. We're from Fort Lauderdale. Coming down here playing the All-American Bowl. They had him compared to Julio Jones. And you'll see on the tape, you'll see the size and the movement skills. They're saying he's a freaky athlete. Grew up playing basketball. Actually swam a little bit in high school. So he's got a gas tank too. 6'3", 204 back then. Owns a thick, muscular build. He's a big dude. You're getting a big wide receiver that can move. And you're not seeing much on tape from Florida State because they did not use him much. He didn't get much opportunity. But you're looking at a guy that's very fluid. Good jab foot. A guy that's going to be a good asset to your team. Part of the Freaks list back in 2023. And we're transferring to Colorado. Right there it is. But we were locked in primarily to Florida State before we hit the portal back on April 17th. We landed with Colorado pretty quick. Back in high school, we have some production, but it wasn't updated. 40 catches, 750 yards, and 11 touchdowns. But you want to see what your new player looks like? I got the clips. I got the clips right here. Let me know what you think about them in the comments below. 4.5 minutes. Here you go. Obviously, these are dated a bit, but you're getting the baseline here. You got some good movement. You got some speed for that size. That's looking solid. You got some length. And when you compare him to the wide receivers in this year's class, when it comes to the length, the size, and the size-adjusted athleticism, there's not really many guys that compare. There's not many guys that compare. And maybe he just needs to get into the right spot. I can't say the Florida State program is the right spot for many players. You're seeing him make play after play. I remember loving this kid when I did this video a couple years ago. I remember it was around the 4th of July. I posted this video. Florida State fans loved it. I remember when I went over his profile. Florida State fans were all over it. You're getting a guy with good athleticism, good size, moves well. There he goes. Now we're going to the Colorado program here where he fits in differently. Look at how big he is and how well he moves. Like, Colorado's got more of the twitchier, compact, sometimes smaller wide receivers, where he is what he is. I'm trying not to be slight to the other wide receivers. I respect him. I got some guys that I like a lot as prospects. I'm trying to stay as positive. You got better words than saying, but I like him a lot. But right there, I think he adds something different to this team. I think he does. The pop off the step, the speed, the thickness there. You're just seeing it. Get him the ball in space. And this is an upside play. He was a 5-star for a reason. You're seeing it. Boom. He's very fluid. Strong hands. You just throw it up to him. You just throw it up to him. And Colorado, remember LaJohntay Wester, I know you didn't forget. They've had transfers come in and make a quick impact before. So if he lives back up to his high school recruiting profile, you might have something here. That's not always the case. We usually see the opposite when we see big-time prospects transfer. He's sudden, though. Do you see those moves? He's very sudden. Ball there. Good concentration downfield. Good concentration downfield. He gives the offense something different. He does. Look how long he is. Up, up. Ball's there. Gets it. Good concentration. You just let him run straight and let him fight for it. Let him fight for those contested catches. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do with this kid. Ball's in the air. There we go. 50-50 balls downfield. Throw it up there. Throw it up there. I got some wide receivers on the roster I also like, but I remember liking this kid coming out. Everybody did. I mean, just watch the tape here. It's just a different type of wide receiver. Good concentration downfield. Hands in your face. Sea of hands. No big deal to him. And at Florida State, give him some grace. Like, that's not the greatest program. It's just not. I'm not throwing too much shade at him, but maybe you catch fire with this prospect, Colorado, because we're seeing him make some moves. Good in the open field. A guy that can pull away a little bit with that size. Uh-oh. Well, a little wildcat. And you got to adjust athleticism to his size. Not compare him to like a 160-pound wide receiver. Please don't do that. This is a different type of wide receiver. You don't see many wide receivers like this anymore. You just don't see many of those big wide receivers with a long frame, long legs. This is why they gave the Julio comparison, just those deep balls downfield, the long frame, the sticky hands, and the ability to get after it. He's showing you he can block. He's showing you he can do that, which is something that should entice you. That's something the Colorado coaching staff loves. The Colorado coaching staff loves physical players. He's getting after it. What I like from him, outside size, length, body control at the catch point downfield, which should be the obvious things. There are a few routes he's shown, which he's only got a few of them to show anyways, that he broke off very clean, very crisp, like at a higher level at the high school level than what you're used to, especially back then in 2023. And this is a prospect. You spent a couple years at Florida State. Things didn't go well. What if we get to Colorado and we blossom? We're a little bit older. We're in a different situation. Maybe to him it's more loving. Maybe to him he gets more opportunity. Maybe he gets more shine in practice. They're not going to let him slide. We know that just because he's a 5-star. But maybe he gets more opportunity. And he gives you something different compared to a lot of the other wide receivers on the staff. A lot of them on the depth chart. I like how he breaks off routes for his size. And it's for his size because you don't want to compare him to like a crispy 160-pound route runner. But for his size, he breaks them off pretty good. He had a couple of those routes where he showed some technical nuance and limited drift off the break. I like his hands downfield, contested catch nightmare. He has good athleticism, long strider. Why not? Let's see what happens with this kid in Colorado, but I think he's a good fit with the depth chart with what you already got. Let me know what you think about him in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now on the way out. I want to thank you for watching, though. I'll catch you on the next video.